What's good, takers? I have a confession to make. I was wrong, just slightly, but indeed, I was wrong. Joss Whedon, you are the man. We just saw Age of Ultron, Avengers 2, again. Let's talk about it. Yes, takers, I'm Eddie Reese.
Danny, I am.
And yeah, like I mentioned, this is gonna be spoiler review. I did a spoiler-free review.
What you talking about, Willis?
With my boy Salem. You can check that out, put the link down below. Did that the day before yesterday, or yesterday, I can't even remember when I uploaded it. But I went to see it again, and I felt that I just had to talk about it again. But this time, we're going into detail. We're talking about the plot elements, the shit that happens, the people who live, the people who die, new characters. So if you haven't seen it yet, stop, pause, look at the calendar, find out when your shit's on, go see it, and then come back and watch us again.
Age of Ultron.
But I'm getting into it this time.
Oh.
Now,
Get into it. Get into it.
when I say that I was wrong, it wasn't that I said Age of Ultron was shit. I liked it. I thought it was a good movie the first time I saw it. But there's something to be said about being in the right headspace when you see a movie. Because this time, today, a couple of hours ago, watching it again, I fucking loved it! It went from a 4-star movie to a 5-star movie. Lord have mercy. I loved it.
Dan, what did you feel? Usually when you see me appear with the boy Eddie Reese, I am usually very vocal, very opinionated, as I am. However, my silence is coming from such a good place. Like,
speak on it. Don't hold it in. Let it out. Come
people, takers, seriously, Joss Whedon, you've just gone out with a bang. You've gone out with a bang. It's like you walked into a Victoria's Secret party and you just literally went out with a bang. I don't care how that sounds. You've made me a happy man, and I hope everybody else who sees this movie knows that the emotional wreck you went through to deliver this, right, which a lot of people aren't aware of. I hope they know it was worth your time, your effort, the sweat. Dude, you deserve those millions, I tell you, man. Dude, you've just delivered a masterpiece and you've gone out
Kevin Feige
on top for me.
Kevin Feige, give him a raise, give him a bonus. But let's go in detail of the events that happened in the film. It opens with that big opening scene.
Big.
In Ladvog. It's a made-up
somewhere
Eastern European place that they came up with.
From the Eastern Bloc.
But they're after Dr. Strucker. He was a guy with a monocle who was in the end credits of Captain America Winter Soldier. The guy who had the twins in the cage. What did you think of that scene? That
do you know what?
The way that camera was just sweeping around, it was just they had this massive action sequence that's done in one massive take. It just follows Thor around first, then it follows Captain America on his bike dragging dudes and throwing them around, then it follows the Hulk, and it follows friggin' Hawkeye, who, Jesus!
I'm carrying on like I'm like the Star Wars reviewer and you were amped.
Yeah,
this is how I'm feeling right now, dude.
And Scarlett Johansson, aka Black Widow, baby.
Ooh, sexy.
Dang, and it was just sweeping back and forth in its single take, and it was just beautiful. The first time I saw it, I didn't appreciate it. I don't know what was wrong with me.
If you remember, takers, when we done the review for Fast 7,
what was wrong with me?
Dude, you're forgiven. You're forgiven. When we done the review for Fast 7...
Why are you mentioning that?
No, hold. The camera thing that you mentioned is quite poignant. And I kept saying, half the time when the camera just went, and there was no point. It added nothing apart from annoyance. However, bring on the Avengers now, Age of freaking Ultron, and the camera movement complemented the action that was taking place on the screen. It was almost like you're seeing a ballet and it's unfolding right in front of you, but it's allowing you to see it from every single angle. Dude, I don't think you've ever heard me speak with such conviction and passion.
But I love the way during the film they establish how they use the Hulk, because now they're truly a team. In the first film, there's a threat and it's these random individuals that just come together to fight this threat. They're not really a team, they're bickering, they're fighting.
Yeah.
In this...
They do bicker and fight, but...
Yeah, but in this, they're a real team and they have their roles.
Cohesive.
And I love the way that they use the Hulk in this, because they refer to him as... They refer to the situation that needs the Hulk as being Code Green.
Code Greens.
So he's like the backup. He sits back, chills, shit goes out of hand, shit they can't handle.
Make the man angry.
Banner.
Unleash the beast.
Banner. It's Code Green. Let's get it. And he jumps in and does this whole thing. And I love that little aspect of it. He is the cavalry that comes in and just
smashes it up.
And it's amazing. In the first film, the way that they used, the Hulk
is still my favourite character. Right?
When they used the Hulk and Scarlet, it impressed me, because I felt with this film, with all of these characters, the way that they managed to give Hulk and Scarlet in particular their moments to shine, while still not, ignoring all the other characters, impressed me. But for somehow, in this, Josh managed to not only make the Hulk shine way brighter and have way more screen time.
Not even Bruce Banner, the Hulk.
Yeah, both of them, to be honest. He managed to do the same with Scarlet. Even more in depth in their history, even more character development. But he also does it with freaking Hawkeye, who I couldn't stand at the first film. This single appearance has made that character relevant. He was, in truth, he was the heart of the Avengers team in this movie.
Yeah.
He had all the smarty wittiest lines.
Even had a family.
Yeah.
Saw a very human side to him.
Yeah, it really humanized him and made him... It showed his value in the team as well.
Yeah.
And also being the heart, because everyone... And it was self-aware, as far as people would always cuss Hawkeye as being, he's a dude with a bow and arrow. And he even says that about himself in the film. I'm just a dude with an arrow, this shit is nuts. But... it makes him relevant.
It does.
Josh.
Going back to something you just mentioned as well, with regards to the Hulk and Scarlet. The whole thing about the Hulk is that he's a beast. You can't tame the Hulk. You can't control the Hulk. And any lesser director and any lesser movie wouldn't have explained how the Hulk is able to work with everybody instead of being that wild beast, and how he's able to kind of tame himself. But you know what? They explained it so well with the help of Black Widow. It's like Black Widow's is his anchor.
Focused. Yeah, it's like focused anger. And I like the little hypnosis element that they introduced in order to get him out of the Hulk state.
And bring him back to being Bruce Banner.
What do they call it? The lullaby.
The lullaby, or
the lullaby. Yeah. She does some, the sun's going down, hey big fella, blah blah blah, and this little touch shit.
Basically, she seduces him. Any man will fall for that shit. Trust me.
It's like a sense of hypnosis, but yeah, I love it. That was a nice,
Scarlet.
A nice way to kind of bring in the whole relationship and closeness between the two of them.
Yes.
And it never existed in any other films up to this point.
No, that was what's so.
They just they introduced it in this film, but it felt organic.
Yeah.
It felt natural. It felt like it was always there.
Marvel is just on a roll right now. So from Daredevil through to this, I'm just
starting Daredevil, but
I'm just amped.
So you introduced the twins.
They do. Quicksilver.
Now, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
They call them enhanced. That's what they're referring to. Captain America referred to them enhanced.
In fact, I don't know if I've heard anyone being referred to as a mutant.
No, they don't, because they can't. They can't. But anyway, boy, Quicksilver, he was better than I expected him to be. Still not as good as the Days of Future Past Quicksilver. But still good. But not as fun. But still good. Can't really take anything away from the guy. They didn't have much to work with, but it was cool. They had their moments. The twins, and you actually believed that they were brother and sister. They had that.
Do you know what? The relationships between every significant person in this shone. It didn't seem staged. It didn't seem acted. You genuinely felt a bond. I can't tell the last time I watched a comic book film, and that's including X-Men, where that bond was genuinely like very organic and not just.
It had a lot to do with the way that they interacted with each other, just looking at each other.
Maybe looks, coming off,
always touching.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, things happen when on set.
Yeah, that too. But boy, Elizabeth Olsen. Oh,
babes, you are my new. You're gonna replace Scarlett now that Scarlett's married off and had a baby. You, Miss Olsen.
Yeah, but she's engaged as well. She definitely added.
Yeah,
something I don't even know. She has an energy about her.
Yeah, and she was very moody, very goth.
Yeah, an intensity that.
But the scene with her brother just took it for me, and I was just like, where it went quiet.
Death.
Yeah, I didn't want to spoil it.
No, we've been spoiler. This is spoiler review. We told them.
We don't want to tell them that.
We're giving it. We're giving it.
Scene with her brother, where she can feel him. And not in that way, people. Keep it clean. That for me, again, it's always about the delivery of emotion.
Rage.
And it wasn't overboard. It was so natural.
Yeah, compare this to Revenge of the Sith and Darth Vader losing his wifey and his ridiculous. She basically did the exact same thing, but in this. It made sense and it was believable.
And it was believable. Josh.
Oh, Lord.
Josh.
So let's talk about Ultron. As a bad guy. James Spader brought it. His voice.
Yes, yeah.
He has a certain class about him and a certain menace in his voice that just... Which... Watching films from the 70s, 80s into the 90s, I remember... What was he first popping up in? He was in Mannequin.
Mannequin is what I remember him from.
He was in Flatliners with Julia Roberts. Yeah. All those old films. He never really had that voice before. I guess it's something that really kicked in as he got older.
And then Blacklist, I think, is where I noticed it quite a bit. Yeah.
But dude, it's like... I
thought you were English, dude.
It's like Velvet, man.
Yeah,
it just rolls off and it's just...
It works.
The nuances and the way, because you could see that it was motion capture with his body movements, because you could see the little twitches and ticks that he does from watching the Blacklist.
Yeah,
but he did kill it. Marvel's been criticised in the past for having weak villains.
Can't call this one weak,
with the exception of Loki, who's the only one that's had any real development in movies, because of course Kingpin, best villain of them all.
Yeah,
from the Daredevil show.
By far.
But that's because they had the time to really flesh him out. But in this, he was crazy. He was crazy, but awesome. And I like the fact that he kept on leveling up.
He did.
Almost every time you see him, different form, getting bigger, final form. It was like freaking Dragon Ball Z.
He took the piss.
This is not my final form.
Rips his whole body apart. Comes in with the next one.
Mid-sentence. Talking mid-sentence.
That was shocking. And that, funny enough, that scene as well for me again hit home because it really pushed into your head that Ultron is everywhere.
Yeah.
You destroy one, bang, there he is again. Bang, there he is. There, bang, there. It was just like
in his infinite quest.
It's like the Agent Smith personified.
That was what that last scene was like. The one where all the Ultron bot things, all just running at him. It felt like that Agent Smith Terminator Reloaded scene.
The Reloaded scene,
just jumping out.
My
Agent
God.
Smith just coming in. Oh, I love it. But yeah. So
I'm still amped, man.
Ultron's trying to just achieve this level of perfection because he believes the human form is where perfection can be acquired. It's kind of like any of you guys watched Battlestar Galactica. You didn't watch it. You need to watch it. One of the greatest things ever, I'll tell you. It's kind of like how those Cylons think that they need to create this to emulate humanity, to be closer to God. So that's why he goes and creates Vision.
Vision, which was meant to be his body.
Yeah.
But I have to say, Ultron was a contradiction, and again, Ultron.
But that's because they based him on
Tony Stark.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And he hates Tony Stark. He can't stand Tony Stark. You know, even when Tony referred to him as said about being his dad, and he was like,
Yeah, he hates to do. But you just reminded me of Andy Serkis. Lord, I can't wait for him to be in the Black Panther. That's gonna be epic.
oh mate,
Andy Serkis, sorry.
Tony Serkis. Tony Stark has a circus.
Yeah, but Andy Serkis is a friggin' master.
Yeah.
Everything he pops up in, especially after Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That was the last one, isn't it? Yeah.
He absolutely
He brings it. And even in this tiny role in this film.
Yeah, he did.
I forget this guy's name, something Claw. And now I figure know why he's gonna be called Claw, because after the arm gets ripped off, I bet you he ends up getting
a claw.
Yeah, probably a
bionic hook.
Yeah, probably a vibranium thing.
Yeah, because he was holding the whole stock.
Yeah, a shit ton of it.
Yeah.
Even though Ultron did nick it all, but he probably has more.
Yeah,
stashed somewhere.
Definitely.
But he was good. He was powerful, and I like the fact he went with the South African accent.
Yeah.
That kind of. Yeah, that kind of.
And it was believable. Again, his presence was awesome.
He's more than just motion capture people.
I actually want to go and watch it again.
Vision. Let's get into the Vision. I wasn't that impressed with the Vision first time.
No.
He wasn't in there much. This time I liked him more. There's something about the fact that he's very like Captain America in the sense that he seems to be very pure and childlike, but even more human than a lot of the
Avengers
human characters. And then there's the cameos.
Oh, the cameos were
Falcon,
War Machine.
Don't shoot him to gold, man. It's the one weakness for me.
He doesn't look right.
Yeah, he looks weird. He looks.
He's great
wrong.
outside of the suit.
Yeah, as an actor on his own, he's great.
But as War Machine, I don't believe it, and I never did.
Yeah,
Terrence Howard was actually more believable
because he looked like he could have been in the military.
Yeah,
he had the physical stature.
And is it Jarvis?
Yeah. Yeah,
Even
Paul Bettany.
Jarvis played a freaking awesome role.
Everybody gets their moment. That's the crazy thing.
Got his moment. Once he got up and then you saw his body morphing into the suit, and then he spoke. It was like, okay.
I think for me, I need to see more of Vision and what he's capable of, because they talk about him being
the next film, the next two films is gonna be
his ability of being possibly as powerful as all of them combined. I need to see why. It's probably got to do with the Infinity Gem in his forehead, but I'm also thinking that means he's gonna have to die at some point. I don't know whether his life and his powers obviously definitely, but I don't know whether the gem is what gives him life or is him. But eventually that has to go and go into the gauntlet. So whether that kills him,
it's an interesting one.
We'll find out.
But you also forgot the Guardian of Asgard, Gates, played by Idris Elba.
Oh yeah, that cameo.
He was a lot better.
Doing more acting in that tiny scene than he's had to do in 2-4 movies.
In 2-4 movies where... And I rate Idris, don't get it twisted.
I love Idris.
But that particular character had nothing to him, and then all of a sudden, he was the life and soul of that particular scene. I was like, check him out. Bravo. Everyone got their time. Everyone got their shine.
Except for the poor woman who we saw a glimpse of, who got everybody talking in the first, maybe it was the first or second Avengers trailer. There was that black woman who people were thinking was maybe Black Panther's sister. It was something to do with the Wakandans. Who was going to be by the black pool, and you see her taking the jacket off from the back. That whole thing was cut out.
Yeah, I was thinking, what black woman?
Yeah. That was all cut out. We saw the scene where Thor getting into that water and seven visions. That was where it was supposed to be. So I'm guessing she was there first, and when those two came in, maybe she was leaving or.
Yeah.
But they cut it.
Yeah, because I mean they did go to Africa as well.
Yeah, they went to Africa. They referred to Wakanda in terms of where all that vibranium came from. But they were implying that they thought. Yeah, there was. But they were implying that they thought all the vibranium was gone. No. Like it would been taken, all of it. But so how are they going to explain it with the Black Panther film that that's what makes that country so rich is the vibranium.
It's the vibranium.
So how can they think it's all gone? So what's this country doing then to get all its money? But I guess we'll find out when Black Panther comes along. Whew, what else? Any other details before I forget? Hulk versus Iron Man.
The more angry he gets, the stronger he gets. And I don't like the way it's always portrayed, and it's like, no. But then if that was the case, Hulk...
The thing is, you get in this problem like with a Superman type situation.
He's too strong.
Yeah, you have to find a way to cap it.
Yes.
So I don't mind them showing a barrier to the power. I don't
smash him up to the nth degree and then that's
too much.
Because that's not what would happen. The Hulk would go ballistic.
Yeah. It's alright Iron Man doing his thing on him for the first few minutes, but then he should have just got the flipped and then just ripped him apart.
Or Scarlet just comes in again, hear my voice, listen to my voice. Because the thing with the Hulk, right, is he has a soft spot for the chicks, believe it or not.
Always.
And they always calm him down. That's believable.
That's basically what it is.
You know, and so don't take something that gets bigger and bolder and so more like aggressive when they're getting angry and you attack them more, and then humanize them too much. Like he gets tired, he's all run out and drained out, and so boom, boom, boom.
Oh, I didn't mind that because he has to have a point where he does come down and all the
He does, and it's usually once the chaos stops and he's got nowhere to direct his
probably
rage.
too calm in that ship at the end when he was flying around, because then you'd think he would have just turned back to
that part. Yeah, that part got it was like
he was too calm.
And again, with that though, is that another lead up to, because there are talks of the Hulk movie as well.
Yeah, no. Apparently it came out that they were sitting on this for a while, but apparently it came out that Marvel doesn't own 100% of the distribution rights
for the Hulk.
For the Hulk, yeah. So they can have him in whatever they were in the movie, and they can make a Hulk movie, but I think it's something to do with them having to share. They don't want to share distribution rights, or Disney doesn't want to share.
Marvel.
Because remember, they made the last Hulk film before Disney picked it up, so that's why that was able to happen.
I just want them to really get all their IPs back, because now that Marvel's really taking control of all the movies.
I don't mind it with the Hulk though.
It's great.
I don't mind it with the Hulk. I think Hulk works best when he's part of an ensemble.
Yeah, they've done it well.
I don't think necessarily it could do. Planet Hulk type situation, but that's where they should have gone. It should have been a rocket up to fucking space rather than just a ship.
But funny enough, that's exactly how they were talking about the Hulk movie and making it like that.
But he didn't go up. He went. They said he was off in Fiji somewhere.
Yeah.
It should have been a rocket into space. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Hulk ship pops up. What's this guy? Boom. I even thought Ultron's plan to turn that whole city into a meteor was
genius. It was genius.
That was pretty good. Usually I was thinking they just can't. They can't top what they're doing in this film for a satisfying finale, but they did it.
They did. And again, even how they end up destroying it was believable. The only thing that got me was there enough ships for everybody who, you know, but
for half a city.
I have to fling this in there, and I don't know if it's going to make the video, but if it does, Michael freaking Bay. If you do a disaster scene, please go and call up Josh Whedon, or just watch the Avengers, Age of Ultron, or watch the first Avengers, because you do not destroy a city like Chicago and have 5 people running around and then just have these big elaborate explosions and crumbling buildings. Dude, I just came down, now you just picked me right back up. You suck. You killed my childhood with what you've done to the Transformers movies. All I'm saying is...
And he's gonna do another one.
The disaster scene in the Age of Ultron is believable. It's epic. It was a living, thriving city.
They missed the trick there, man. In this film, they have no reference to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
They didn't.
No reference. No, they referred to S.H.I.E.L.D. as an organisation, but in terms of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the show, what happens in that, they no reference to it. They made no reference to Coulson.
Speaking of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., what did you actually think of Samuel L. in this one?
Yeah. Again, this
connects back into
it. Yeah, this connects back into it. He didn't really need to be there, and he was there to also be the cavalry. But then it's like, where the fuck? You've been living off the grid This is my one criticism of the movie. Where the fuck do you get a helicarrier from that you've just had stashed? Where the hell are you gonna stash a fucking flying city? And the manpower that he needed to run it.
In your city-sized garage.
Yeah. And the manpower that he has to run it. They could have answered that by referring back to S.H.I.E.L.D. Because anyone who's been watching the show knows that there's this other alternative S.H.I.E.L.D. organisation that's trying to reform the whole thing. They could have just said it was them and had some of those characters pop up in this, but then they didn't. They just said, Fury just found this shit, a few of my buddies were dusting it off, and you literally saw people in the background dusting off the tables while he was saying that.
Yeah.
That was my one criticism. That was way too convenient. Way too convenient. But apart from that, still 5 stars for me. Still 5 stars. But
I will agree.
This is going on long
I think
enough.
it's better than the last one.
Way better, way better. I didn't think so before. I thought the first one was more fun, but that's because I think it was just a novelty of seeing all those characters together for the first time after all these years as a kid dreaming about that shit. But man, we've gone on enough. You guys, those of you who have seen it, leave comments down below. Let's talk about this shit. Those of you who haven't, you got any questions, let me know. Shoot them down below.
Go and watch it only in the IMAX.
Check out my boy's channel.
Opinionated. Oh, I am.
Link down below. You like the video, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I'm Eddie Reese, and this has been our first take of Avengers 2.
Age of Ultron, baby. Age of freaking Ultron.